Hello there, Taurus. Thank you so much for stopping by for your monthly tarot video forecast for the month of February. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. This is the first time that I'm doing a monthly forecast, and I'm doing it in a different format than usual. So I am open to hearing some feedback about what you guys think about this new format. It's going to be completely different than the weeklies. So what I'm doing, we're looking at a major life experience that you're having sometime during the month of February. So let's just get right with it. The first thing that I see is that for your environment, there's been some kind of shakeup in your environment. And I should tell you, environment, when I'm reading, can be any place where you have effort, energy, and resources invested. Usually that's home. Sometimes it comes up as work or school as well, though. So, definitely some kind of big shakeup in the environment lately, in the environment lately. So if this would be work, this could be a shakeup with maybe you have a whole bunch of new bosses, or maybe the whole management team is changed out. Maybe the workplace itself is actually moving. If this is home, this could be something maybe happening to the home. Maybe you're thinking about moving. Maybe you did just move. Um, and if this is school, this could be just some major changes going on in school. Maybe your whole schedule is changing or whatever at school. But definitely some kind of major shakeup going on in your environment is the first thing that shows up for you, Taurus. The second thing that I'm looking at is I'm looking at the subconscious leanings that you have during the month of February. So for subconscious leanings, I think what your subconscious is really working on is friendship and building up that network of friendship around you. So you may be working on, okay, making new friends. You may be working on just deepening the bond with the friends that you have, but your subconscious definitely has friendship going on in that background program for you on your mind. Now, the next card talks to me about two different things at the same time. The first is about your learning style, and the second is about your communication style. And yes, those change. Those are not stagnant. They don't stay the same throughout our lifetimes. So I've read several people different times and found different things about each of these. So that should not surprise you that maybe in different circumstances you're learning things differently or you're communicating differently. So anyway, for February, let's see, what is this card saying about your learning style? You learn something when you feel like you need to do the tasks that you need to accomplish to get through your life. So if there's something that you need to learn to help you with work, you're going to learn it then. If there's something that you need to learn to help you with managing your home or your finances, you're going to learn it when you realize, oh, I need to know that. So I feel like for February, whatever it is that you're learning, I feel like it's a responsibility thing that you're learning about. It's something that you really need to know to move forward. Excuse me. Now, as far as communication style, uh, I feel like you're doing a lot of hint dropping in February. I feel like you're not being very direct on some of your communication in February. So, definitely a lot of hint dropping, just kind of dropping the hint, checking the reaction. How is that person reacting to what I'm saying? And kind of moving forward in that way. If a person doesn't react well to a hint, you're going to back off. If you drop a hint and somebody seems to be reacting well, then you might drop another hint that's just a little bit stronger and keep moving forward until you hit a point of resistance and then you back off again. But definitely, I feel like I don't know that that's all your communication style in February, but there's definitely a certain situation, at least one, where that's the mode of operation that you're using. So there's something that you would like to talk about, but you're only dropping hints right now. Now, let's see. The next card talks about your work, and what you need to know about me and work is that work can be that way that you make a living, but it can also be those things that you do to improve your own self as well. So what I'm seeing for work is that that's interesting. There's some kind of gift giving going on here at work, and I feel like you are the giver of the gift. in most cases. So you're giving some kind of gift when it comes to working. So maybe if you're doing some kind of personal work, maybe you're focusing on that you want to be more generous than you've been before. And so that's why you're giving a gift or giving some gifts in February. If you're at work, this, where you make your living, this may not be quite as nice a thing. This could be more about that you are giving them more than what they're paying for, or um, that could be part of it. Then there's another way that this could manifest at work. It could just be that there's somebody at the place that you work that you are giving a gift to, but there's some kind of gift giving going on having to do with work for you in the month of February. Now, the next card that we're looking at talks to me about that part of you that is being grown or expanded right now. And so what we have coming up there is a card that talks about you are really learning how to use your feminine power. Whether you're male or female doesn't matter to me at all on this. When I'm talking about feminine power, the male power, masculine power, is more aggressive, more action-oriented, more get out there and do. The feminine power is more receptive power, okay? The best example that I can give so that you guys know the difference between masculine power and feminine power is this. And it's kind of an antique-y type example, but say that there's a couple living in a home and it's winter time, and to keep the home warm, they have to use a fireplace. And so they burn wood. And so the feminine power would be when the lady of the house notices that the wood is getting low, the wood supply is getting low, that's stacked up inside the house, she would say to the man in the house, the masculine power, can you bring in more firewood? We're getting low. Or maybe she would just tell him, we're getting low on firewood. So after she says that, she waits. Hopefully not too long. Depends how much of a procrastinator the man of the house is, right? So then the man goes out and the man either chops the firewood and brings it in, or maybe it's already chopped and stacked outside, and he just brings some in from outside so that they have more. So the man, the masculine power, is actually doing. He is going and getting the firewood and carrying it into the house. The woman is the receptive. She is the one saying, oh, thank you. So she says, we're getting low on firewood. He goes and gets firewood, brings it in. She receives the firewood. He goes and gets the firewood. She is the receptive energy. That is the feminine energy. He is the go and do it action energy. That is masculine energy. We all have masculine energy. We all have feminine energy. Doesn't matter what our gender is. Generally, we're taught, if we're born a boy or a girl, to be stronger in whatever that energy is. So if we're born a female, we're taught to have more feminine energy. And if we're born a male, we're taught to have more masculine energy normally. It doesn't always happen. But anyway, so what I see being grown or expanded right here is your feminine energy is being grown or expanded in the month of February. And I got to tell you, I think this is a good thing, especially in the society that I've come up in, where we don't really acknowledge the feminine energy. If you go into the workplace, you see women all the time thinking that they have to be like the men to get ahead. And so it's a real tragedy because we're losing a lot of the feminine energy in our workplaces, and we're kind of teaching women not to use that feminine energy. So it's nice to see expansion of feminine energy, whether you're a female or whether you're a male. And this just means that you're getting better at letting the universe know what it is that you would like, what it is that you need. Excuse me. Waited too long for that drink. You get a dry throat when you talk. Okay, so excuse me, feminine energy being grown or expanded is what is happening with you in February. Excuse me again. Peach tea. Yummy. All right, so let's look next at what it is you feel like standing up for in February. So Taurus, you have an interesting card. This is really, this is like putting the big exclamation point behind what you're standing up for. Because basically what this card says is that you are standing up for yourself. You're taking a stand for yourself in February. And the fact that it comes up in the position of something that you stand for tells me that when you take the stand for yourself, you are definitely going to have some opposition to this. So standing up for yourself basically just means that you're setting boundaries with somebody in your life. And this can happen at work, this can happen at home, can happen anywhere in our life, can even happen with our friends. But you're setting some boundaries. You're telling them, you know what, I don't mind doing this and this and this, but when you ask me to do this, you're kind of pushing your luck. You know, I don't think that that's my place. It's not appropriate, or I don't have time to do that, or whatever is your reason why you don't want to do whatever it is that they are kind of pushing, and they've just gone beyond what you're willing and what you're happy to do for them. So I see you taking a stand for yourself, standing up for that, and I see you getting a little bit of pushback on that. And for some of you Tauruses, I think you're going to get more than a little bit of pushback on that. And that's pretty typical, especially if you've been doing these things that now you're telling people, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore. If you've been doing those things for a while and they've kind of come to expect you to do them, then they're going to test that. They're going to check that out. Yeah, he or she says she's not going to do that, but she's been doing it so long. Who else is going to do it? And so they're going to test that. They're going to see if you're really going to stay true to your word and keep to the boundaries that you've set out. And that's what you're going to be standing up for this month. And I feel like you're going to stand strong with it in spite of the pushback. Otherwise, this card would not be showing up in that position. Now, the next card talks to me about how other people perceive you. Ooh. Okay, so I'm getting two different scenarios here. So for some of you, it's going to apply one way. For some of you, it's going to apply another way. And of course, it's a general reading. For some of you, it won't apply at all. But there are some of you who people, when they look at you, they see you as unstoppable. Like when you decide that you want to do something, they know you're going to do it. They can take that to the bank. It might not happen as fast as you want it to, or it might, but you're not going to be giving up if it doesn't happen quite as fast as you want it to. If you set out to do something, it's a done deal. That's how people perceive some of you. Others of you, the perception that's showing up for me is that you really, other people notice that you really limit yourself. They see you as your own worst enemy. So we've got this dual thing. You've got different ones of you Tauruses being viewed different ways. For the second set of you, I feel like people see they notice that you notice a lot of negative in your life, and they feel like that really kind of keeps you from moving forward. That kind of keeps you stuck by staying focused on that negative stuff. So that's other people's perceptions of you guys, Taurus. Like I said, some will have the first experience, some of you will be having the second experience. Now, the life experience or the lesson that you're going to be learning through this month is, it looks like it's more of an experience than a lesson, but it looks like you're going to be, oh, this makes so much sense with what part of you is being expanded. You're going to be looking at things that could be better in your life or in situations around you, and you're going to be thinking about, well, what could we do to make those situations better? The great what if type stuff. And if you're into law of attraction, there's this total direct correlation between the whole what ifing and that receptive feminine energy, because the feminine energy, the strength in that energy is allowing things to come to the person, allowing that receptivity, allowing the reception, the receiving. And so by doing the what if process, by going, wouldn't it be nice if? What if this wonderful thing could happen? What if we could find ourselves in this position? That's actually the kickoff of that feminine energy. That's where that feminine energy comes in, because the whole process of how feminine and masculine energy works together in all of us is those initial thoughts of, well, what if? What if we could do this? What if we could do that? What if we could make this better? And then the masculine energy comes along as that feminine energy puts out there to the universe all this what if. And then what comes back from the universe is these inspired ideas of how to get that what if. And when those inspired ideas come in, then that masculine energy takes those inspired ideas and runs with them, takes the action, does the idea. So that really explains why you're developing your feminine energy this month, because you're doing a lot of, well, what if? Wouldn't it be great if? What if we could do this? How could we do that? You know, that type of stuff is what's really going on this month. It's almost like daydreaming, but really, daydreaming is not such a passive thing as we used to think it is. Daydreaming is very active. It is the very beginning kernel of something new coming into our life. And so I see you doing a lot of daydreaming about what if, and how could we do this, and wouldn't it be great if? So that is the key experience coming up for you guys for February, Taurus. And then as we go through this key experience, there's a couple of things that begin to happen. So as you're incorporating this experience, as you're doing that what ifing, you've got a situation coming up where you're starting to realize all the really good things going on in your life. It's a state of appreciation, of realizing that, you know what, things are actually pretty good right here. Things are pretty good. Now, it's not to say that you don't want things improved or want things better. We all do. We would be dead if there wasn't something new or different or better that we wanted. So I'm not saying that you're at that point where you feel like you've got everything, but I do feel like you're at a point of gratitude where you're grateful for what you do have and feeling really good about where you are in your life. So you're going to have at least one moment like that come through in February, and I feel like with it showing up on this spread, I feel like it's going to be more of a theme that's going to be a recurring thing for a while for you. Now, the other thing that comes up too, as you're doing this, wouldn't it be great if, I see some heartache being healed. So there's something that's gone on in the past, maybe between you and another person, or maybe you just felt like you were getting the short end of the stick in life in general, and so you had some heartache to where you weren't able to really appreciate yourself. But whatever's going on that's caused this heartache, something is going on that is starting to clear it up and starting to move it out. This could be having a healing conversation with somebody that you felt like betrayed you and so your heart was aching. This can also be doing some spiritual or some psychological work to help yourself to let this go. That also brings some healing. But there's definitely healing for a heartache that's coming through as you're doing all your what ifing. And then ultimately what we have coming up as you're doing your what ifing is that things start to, do I want to say it like that? No. Things start to, you start to understand that things are not always going to be like they are right now, that things will change, that there's a season, and that it takes time to go from here to wherever you want to go. And so you're starting to realize that it takes time. You're starting to understand the concept of patience. You're starting to understand the concept of putting that seed out there and then just letting the harvest come in whenever it's ready to come in. And you're starting to have that confidence of, hey, I've put the seed in the ground. That harvest is coming in. I can trust Mother Nature to do her thing. Or in this case, since we're not literally talking farming, I can trust the universe to do its thing to bring back those things to me that I have requested from the universe. So very much receptive energy, very much feminine energy is really the theme of the month for you Tauruses. Thank you everyone for stopping by, for hanging out, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. I'm particularly interested, like I said at the front of this video, to see what you guys think of this new format. Everyone drop me a line. Have a fantastic month. I will see you all back here the next time. If I do one the next time, we'll see if that happens. Peace out.